Matching hundreds. It's the coast. This is Madden football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend to go, as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Green Bay Packers. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
There's a look at one of the most iconic sports venues in the lower 48, built back in 1957 under the title of City Stadium. We are at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We all know this community lives for its Packers, and the green and gold came out of the tunnel a short time ago, and it was loud. We are ready for football, so are they, as the Packers get set to match up with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. On fourth down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. Number 12 in green and gold coming out to lead the Packers. Of course, that's Aaron Rodgers. Last year for Rodgers, despite the young receiving core, despite the nagging injuries, despite the removal of his head coach, better than 4,400 passing yards, the second highest total in his 14 NFL seasons. So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10. Rodgers now on 1st down. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opened things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good. That middle third, the seam routes, the end routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well. And he's got it.
Here's Jones. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line. And now the offensive starters for the Packers.
Durable and dependable, but also elite. His left tackle, David Bakhtiari, has only missed 6 games in his NFL career. He protects Aaron Rodgers' blind side, and he does it so well. In 2018, named first-team All-Pro for the first time in his career.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Rodgers, man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. The numbers for Jones last week, 16 carries, 126 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Jones. And he'll be brought down this this time at the 5-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, he hauls it in. Valdez-Scantling for the Packers touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turning...
Rodgers now on 1st and 10. Looking middle, and that's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22. See some head shaking on that defensive sideline because so much focus on taking away what he did last week as NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Big gain there for him to start.
I love your observation because you would think they'd be prepared for him after what he did the previous week. Because sometimes that skill set actually intimidates a defense, and he used it to his great advantage.
No gain on the dump off. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing is Rodgers. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown, Packers. 2 touchdown passes now here in this first quarter for Aaron Rodgers. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And they just ran the fly route there, didn't they?
You broke it down perfectly. He ends up catching that one and taking it all the way into the end zone.
Well, thanks. It was pretty simple to break down, though. I mean, that's just a guy going, running on the go route, making a play.
Speed,
kills.
Speed, speed. And what does it do?
It kills.
There you go.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. Back for the 2nd quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
To throw, it's Rodgers. It's caught outright by Graham.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. And they'll try the jet sweep here. 11 yards there, 1st down.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it with Jones. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Rodgers. And his throw here's incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. He's got his man on the crossing route. A well-executed 22-yard gain. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Rodgers, 3 first-half touchdown passes. And the Packers are able to strike quickly for 6. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive, and it seemed like they had maybe given up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man of the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there. They're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment, takes it away.
They finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Rodgers going to throw. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Kill, kill, kill.
On 2nd and goal, Rodgers got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. 4 touchdown passes now for Aaron Rodgers. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. That was quite the call down around the goal line on 4th and goal.
Yeah, they fake the run, pull it out, throw it, and as a defense, I've been in that spot before, and we see it all the time. You almost have to...
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Taking it in from the 20. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
It's never fun for a defense to run on the field knowing that they're having to defend a short field. Just the idea of trying to limit an offense in that position, daunting for a defense.
Hey, you block over here. Undercut.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. To Valdez-Scantling over the middle. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear one saying, well, why don't you cover him, double and triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. They run on 1st down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
58. Here we go. 26. Here we go. Tighten up. Shift.
From just shy of midfield, Rodgers got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 37. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
They'll run on 1st down. Jones. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
319. Pin the mirrors back and go full strength. 6.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. And he's got it. Got his man on the end round. Complete.
Shut down.
To throw again on second down. Rodgers. That is caught inside the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 15 yards on the play. First down.
Let's go.
And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his call.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
This is taken at the 18. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle?
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one covers 29 yards. First down. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 23. And they'll try the jet sweep here. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A 23-yard run as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And while that's his second rushing touchdown, third total, he did have the receiving TD earlier.
He creates a matchup nightmare all the time, doesn't he? If you pull everyone in trying to stop him running the ball, split him out or get him out of the backfield and throw the ball to him, he can hurt you either way very, very well.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
53, Mike, 53.
Again, it's Jones. And an alley to run. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 15 yards on the play, first down.
As many games as the two of us do, I would hope that one day we'll be able to solve this riddle. Why is it on a hot day that one team has more trouble with the heat than another? And especially when you can't stop a guy running the ball.
You know it's September in the booth, though, when you and I have both removed our coats, and those were gone in the first quarter.
They were gone in the first quarter, and what we're watching now is a defense mentally giving in and sagging a little bit because they haven't been able to stop him.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Now they try the right side here. He'll have another first down and more. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. That's another gain of 15 on back-to-back plays. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. And quick throw here, that's complete. Touchdown! on fire. His 5th touchdown pass of the ball game as his guys continue to pour it on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. This is taken at about the 14. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. On 1st down, Rodgers. He's got the hook up to Jay Sternberger, the rookie. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives them a new set of downs. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers.
158. So no slant. Let's go.
On 1st down, it's Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Adams hauling it in from Rodgers. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Green 18. Kill. Jump out. Hey, turn it up. Go right. Get 300. Get 300.
On 1st down, Rodgers. The quick slant caught, and he couldn't quite get.
Green 18. 50. General West.
They'll run on 1st down. Jones. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
It's always been funny to me, Brandon, when coaches always talk about on hot days like the one we have here, it's hot for both teams. But when one team has the advantage, when one team is running the ball really well and closing things out, it's hotter for the defensive side, and they sag a lot quicker.
Yeah, they say the dog days of August, the heat we're seeing here today, dog days of September, and the advantage right now on the offensive side. Now Jones, and he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Aaron Jones, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns.
Check. 258. Check. 53 is mine. You got nothing in there.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the...
Not gonna happen today.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
I'm trying to collect.
So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes back. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Green Bay, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they...
Matching hundreds. It's the coach. This is the 2019 season on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago. It'll be the Green Bay Packers taking on the Dallas Cowboys. With that, let's get on over to AT&T Stadium in Arlington for the call from Jerry World. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Just a gorgeous fall afternoon in the heart of Texas. No weather to speak of. Sun out, roof open. Yes, yes, and yes. A great day for football at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with the Green Bay Packers. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They've been playing their best football of the year. Winners of 4 in a row.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. And he finds a man on a crossing route. He's at the 30. Past the 20. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. Touchdown number 15 on the year. As his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards too? Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
So on fourth down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. He'll look to set up his blockers. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. The give is to Jones. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Shit. Over.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 10 more there and another first down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Sean Lee, the Pro Bowler, there for the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. 2 touchdown passes now here in this first quarter for Aaron Rodgers as they have taken the lead.
When you're a great route runner, it makes you that much better as a receiver because now your quarterback trusts that you're going to be where he expects and he's able to deliver the ball on time.
Check. Walk 54. Man, I got you.
On 1st and 10, Rodgers. The connection made. It's Graham. And he'll be corralled right around the 34.
Let's go.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Here's Rodgers. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. Rodgers now on 1st down. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring on 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Rodgers going to throw again. Over the middle, complete. That's Adams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Packers have taken the lead. And if you blinked, you probably missed that touchdown drive. It happened in a hurry.
I was just putting mustard on my hot dog, and all of a sudden he's in the end zone. I've got to do a better job of paying attention with this quick strike offense.
I thought you were going to tell your wife about the hot dogs in the booth thing.
I just did, didn't I?
Yeah.
Mike. 318. Take that, man, with that. Check. Back one.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this 1st half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Rodgers. Wide open receiver, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one good for 26 and a 1st down. Now Rodgers. And Graham's got it. Complete. 11 more yards that go around. A 1st down as well.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Here's Rodgers on 1st down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Adams. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. A give to Jones. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1. To throw, it's Rodgers. It's caught, Jones. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Rodgers now closing in on a 200-yard 1st half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Rodgers. Open on the left side. This is Valdez-Scantling. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air. Because
touchdown, Packers! Aaron Rodgers, 3 first-half touchdown passes. And once again, the Packers, they're back out in front. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here.
Rodgers throwing on first down. And Graham's got it over the middle. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Jalen Smith, who took a huge step forward last year, in on the tackle for Dallas. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Here we go, get off the field.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On play action, Rodgers. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. The left side throw complete to Adams. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. A 9-yard pickup, just 1 yard away from 3 consecutive first down plays. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was. Handed it to the guy who could run it. Created some space, and he got there.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
right.
Now Rodgers. Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. 4 touchdown passes now for Aaron Rodgers. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown.
Rodgers pass complete.
Senator, 258, 55, come to my 30. We won. Come to my. We didn't get it.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Back now in Arlington. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the fourth quarter. Rodgers now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. To throw is Rodgers. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 23 yards, the final tally. His big game continues. Already has the 3 touchdown grabs, tacking on some more yardage and a first down.
And how precise has his route running been in this game? We just saw him get open yet again. And he's also made adjustments as the defense has tried to really stop him.
Switch it, switch it, switch it, come on, switch it. Come out! Come, come.
On first down, Jones. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock. I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, fourth quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
He's been big, 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
You got 58.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And it's second down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a first and goal. Rodgers again now. Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers on fire, his 5th touchdown pass of the ball game. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him.
Mike Lennon, 158. Ready? Watch tight end. Easy. 4 down. Easy.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. Space to maneuver at the 40. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. A very solid gain of 27.
First play of the drive, excellent run. Just sets up wash, rinse, repeat. Another first down.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Throwing is Rodgers. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Graham.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
The throw over the middle, taken in. Oh, and the big play's going to get even bigger as penalty flags are down, and I believe they're going to get a face mask penalty tacked on. Boy, tight game like this, 4th quarter, personal foul penalties, a no-no.
Yeah, we know the emotions are running high, the tensions are the same. Who can control them best could ultimately win it.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
And this is obviously quite a...
Green 18. 55. Hey. 49. Check 49. Green 18.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching up another 15 against your squad.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. And between the last 2 plays, they've moved it over half the length of the football field.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
For Green Bay, Anthony Brown on the tackle. A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 28-yard line.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Rodgers looking to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day.
And they'll try the jet sweep here. And an alley to run. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Packers, their strong September has carried over to October as they move to 5-0. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, it was a good first month, but they'll fall to 4-1 as they suffer their first loss. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets. So